All right, we're back once again, guys. Good evening. Let's wrap this day up in a nice little bow. See what's going on out there in the crypto space. One last time before we call it a night. Third stream of the day, actually the fourth, because we did a Patreon live as well. So what do we got? Where do we close? Well, right around 91,282. Top of our tight little range here. We seem to be stuck in this little range right here. We seem to be stuck right here, right? It's getting tight. That's what she said. And it's not getting any looser here, guys. So we're at the top of the range. So what this tells me is I need to see a close. I need to see us get above where we are right now, outside this box. And we need to close. I'd like to see us move our way up to around 92 or 92.5. I'd like to see a close up there to show us some sort of strength to the upside. Because right now, if this continues the way that it is here, it kind of looks to me like we're going to end up losing support here as this buy wall continues to get weaker and weaker as we continue to bounce off of it. Now, another possibility I'm looking at is maybe we come back down, form a double bottom, and then we finally get that break to the upside, right? That would be what I'm hoping to see here in the near term. So, yeah. All right, guys, let's get into the chat. We got a super chat to start the stream. Isaac, my dude, I tell my wife I can show you the world, but a little at a time so you don't leave me. keep stringing her along, eh, buddy? I like it, brother. I like it. Do what you gotta do. Okay, so let's get into the chat here. What do we got? Quentin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Tommy. Sup, Crypto Face? You rock, doggy. Crypto Face? Okay, I'll take it. BTC sideways forever. Let's go. Absolutely, baby. Absolutely. Sideways forever. Hello again, Rob. You have been busy. Thank you for all your hard work, brother man. Yes. Fourth live of the day. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in. It's absolutely free to do. Helps the channel grow. We got 60 people watching. We got 20 likes, guys. Let's get it to 30. Let's get halfway to the amount that we have watching. Right? 50%. Come on. Quentin says, my girlfriend says your intro music sounds like porn music. And I said, what kind of porn are you watching? No kidding, hey? You know me says hit the like on your way in. Yes, absolutely. Dave, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Wow, chat's kind of quiet tonight. I was anticipating the evening stream to be the busiest one. Turns out, I think the middle of the day was the busiest one. All right, let's get into the news then, guys. Shall we? Let's browse what's going on across the space. Now, to sum up the day, guys, we saw a couple things happen. We saw the whole Powell and Trump situation. Basically, I personally feel like this is not about winning or losing the case for Trump. This is about him ensuring Powell does not stick around long term. And the easiest way to get rid of somebody as a commissioner over at the Fed is to have an investigation going on against them, right? So that's what I think it's about. It's not about winning or losing. It's about getting rid of them. Also, we had Gary Gensler's SEC caught red-handed in a scheme helping a company commit fraud. So we have that going on as well. We will stay on top of that case. Anything Gary Gensler getting in trouble, I love to cover, right? So let's see what else we have. And we also have Charles Hoskinson going off about the Clarity Act. We will talk about that as well. But for now, we got Bitcoin and gold surge in Trump-Powell tensions. So President Trump and the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell are at odds again, impacting cryptocurrencies and traditional safe havens like gold, following the DOJ's probe involving Powell. Market reactions include Bitcoin rising 1.5% and gold 1.53%, highlighting tensions affecting asset stability and investor sentiment globally. The ongoing conflict between Powell and Trump has led to a significant market reaction. Bitcoin and gold have both increased as investors seek safe havens. Tensions have escalated over economic policies and rate cut demands. Really quick pause here, guys. How insane is it that global markets have to brace and seek safe havens against two men with big egos going at each other? How sad is that, right? Pretty sad, pretty sad. Key figures in this dynamic include Trump, who has publicly criticized Powell's monetary stance. Powell countered with a left jab and a flurry to the solar plexus, describing the DOJ's actions as politically motivated. As Trump denied involvement, the conflict affects economic strategy and market stability. Markets reacted to Bitcoin's rising 1.5% to $92,000 and gold climbing 1.53% to $4,578. Increased demand for safe haven assets reflects growing fears of political and economic uncertainty influencing investor decisions and financial trends. The financial implications include the uncertainty around Fed policies, the potential interest rate movements. This uncertainty pressures both financial institutions and individual investors, altering trading behaviors and economic forecasts. Looking ahead, market watchers anticipate potential rate cuts and further monetary adjustments. Investor sentiment remains sensitive to political developments. With possible regulatory and economic shifts, market volatility continues as these tensions unfold, affecting financial landscapes. Powell and Trump are messing it up for all of us, is basically the long and short of it. So they need to knock it off, right? Let's dive into Hoskinson, but first, Isaac says, I appreciate the time you put in to your content. Allows me to do all my research in one place. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes, brother. You know that. All right, let's get into this here. And then we got a little clippy clip to get into. So Cardano's Hoskinson demands Trump's crypto Caesar resign as Clarity Act faces failure. Hoskinson says the Clarity Act's momentum is faltering and links regulatory landscape to its progress. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson publicly questioned the future of digital asset market Clarity Act and called for the resignation of President Donald Trump's crypto advisor, David Sachs. Hoskinson made the remarks during an interview on The Wolf of All Streets, I think. He warned that the window for meaningful legislation is narrowing quickly as the 2026 midterm elections approach, adding that the shift in control of the U.S. House could effectively stall the bill altogether. If no progress is made in the coming weeks, Hoskinson said Sachs should step down, arguing that the crypto industry has deteriorated under his tenure since being appointed in late 2024. His criticism centers on what he describes as a lack of regulatory clarity, continued price weakness across the markets, and the absence of a stable policy foundation for builders. Hoskinson pointed to the broader market decline since Trump returned to office, noting that many major cryptocurrencies are down 40 to 50% over that period. He linked part of the damage to the launch of the Trump-branded meme coin days before the inauguration, which he said drained liquidity from the market at a fragile moment and undermined confidence among both retail investors and regulators. The Clarity Act, introduced in May of 2025, has been viewed as one of the most important attempts to define crypto regulations in the United States. It passed both the House Financial Services Committee and the House Agriculture Committee with bipartisan backing. The bill would establish tests to determine whether digital assets should be treated as securities or commodities, an issue that has long plagued the industry because of Gary Gensler. Attention has now shifted to the Senate, where the Agriculture and Banking Committees are preparing to hold markups on January 15th. Senate Banking Committee Chair Tim Scott has framed the vote as a hard deadline after months of stalled negotiations, arguing that lawmakers must go on record even if consensus remains incomplete. Hoskinson's skepticism reflects broader uncertainty in Washington. Several Democrats and a handful of Republicans have criticized the accelerated timeline, saying unresolved issues remain around ethics rules, conflicts of interest, and the treatment of decentralized finance. DeFi has become one of the most contentious points, with industry advocates pushing for protections for developers and open source software, while Democrats warn that overly broad exemptions could increase money laundering and national security risks. Stablecoin regulation has also been a criticism from Hoskinson, particularly the Genius Act, which he said favors large financial institutions at the expense of retail participants. He argued that the bill would consolidate power among major Wall Street firms and reshape the crypto market in ways that undermined its original principles. More broadly, Hoskinson warned against efforts to nationalize crypto or frame it as purely an American product. Behind the scenes, lobbying has intensified as the January votes approach. Let's jump over to a little clippy clip from Hoskinson and the show in question. And I gotta say, I agree with a lot of what Charles had to say here, guys. I really do. It's only 35 seconds, but
here's the reality of the situation. I don't think the Clarity Act is going to pass this quarter, and because it's an election year, we only have one left window, and if the Democrats retake the House, we will not have another opportunity till 2029. If it doesn't pass this quarter, I think Sachs should resign. He's utterly failed us as an industry. We look at three lenses: price going up, no; adoption going up, no. Do we have clarity and certainty, and do we have a strong foundation to build on? No. So if you're the czar and you're in charge of this whole thing, I got to judge you by your track record. Most cryptos are down 40 to 50% since Trump took office. But
he's not wrong, guys. Right? That's the thing. He's not wrong. And people who think things are bad right now, here's the thing. If you think things are bad right now, which they kind of suck a little bit under Trump, right? If the Democrats gain power again, you can look forward to 4 more years of crypto being assaulted, attacked, and utterly marooned, right? They're going to start launching lawsuits again. You're going to see companies going overseas again if the Democrats get back into power. So, something to think about. Something to think about. All right, what else do we have? Chat's quiet tonight. Holy smokes. All right, Fidelity discusses Bitcoin's potential supercycle entry. Fidelity's digital assets recently explored the concept of a Bitcoin supercycle in its 2026 crypto outlook, questioning the traditional 4-year market cycle amidst cryptocurrency price trends. The analysis suggests potential extended bull markets, challenging previous cycle norms, with implications for institutional adoption and broader market volatility. Fidelity's digital assets has released its 2026 outlook, like I said, highlighting Bitcoin's possible entry to supercycle. The report by Fidelity said a division of the Fidelity investments underscores the impact of institutional interest on Bitcoin's market rhythms. Vice President Chris Cooper emphasizes game theory as a potential movie for sovereign Bitcoin purchases, suggesting a shift in market dynamics. The potential shift into a super cycle is pivotal for stakeholders in the cryptocurrency sector. Fidelity's outlook suggests Bitcoin's traditional peaks and troughs might give way to sustained bull markets, reshaping market participant strategies and expectations. Financially, the possibility of a supercycle entails broader market implications. Institutional buyers could stabilize Bitcoin's price, impacting altcoin volatility, yet corporate sell-offs during downturns remain a potential risk. Market indicators currently lack supporting data like on-chain TVL changes or liquidity shifts. Fidelity's report provides institutional insights but omits concrete on-chain metrics. Evaluating structural demand from institutions and governments may define crypto market narratives moving forward. So Fidelity calling for a supercycle. Very, very interesting. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but Miller Mountain, thanks for your hard work today, Rob. Hey, no problem, brother. Paul, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Crypto JPEG, late. I was hanging out at Otaku's. What's the BTC move tonight? Well, what I can say, first of all, is if you're late because you were at Otaku's, then you could thank Otaku for you having to do 50 push-ups. We love Otaku. We love Otaku. All right, what else do we have, guys? We got more. Boom. Senators proposed bill to protect blockchain developers' rights. Let's talk about it. Senator Cynthia Lummis and Ron Wyden introduced a Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act to clarify the legal status of software developers in the cryptocurrency sector, potentially easing regulatory burdens. This bill seeks to protect innovation while ensuring developers aren't wrongfully classified as money transfers, impacting blockchain initiatives and privacy rights. The proposed bill by Senators Lummis and Wyden explicitly distinguishes blockchain developers from money transmitters, offering clarity on regulatory expectations by focusing on those not controlling user funds. The bill aims to protect developers from undue financial regulation and bolster innovation within the cryptocurrency industry. Therefore, Gary Gensler could not come along and call whatever a developer is doing a security. Key implications include clear guidelines for developers who maintain open source infrastructure without handling user funds. The bill aligns with a similar legislative initiative, H.R. 3533 from the House of Representatives. Did you know Senator Lummis and Wyden previously collaborated on a letter challenging the Department of Justice's definition of money transmissions, indicating long-standing efforts to safeguard innovators? And you need that, guys. You need that to protect innovation in the United States. It might not sound sexy, but I promise you it is a necessity for the space. What else do we have? Pow! We got all kinds of stuff, guys. All kinds of stuff. CFTC's chair unleashes innovation panel to tackle crypto and prediction markets. Now, this is big for me because we are leaning heavily into prediction markets for our investment portfolios over in our VIP community going into 2026 and 2027. I think they're going to be huge, right? So let's get into it. The CFTC chair has established an innovation panel to address rapidly growing areas, including cryptocurrencies and prediction markets. This move signals the agency's serious commitment to emerging financial technologies. Recently, Michael Selig became the chair of the CFTC. Shortly after taking charge, he announced that the CFTC would rename one of its long-standing internal groups and give it a new mission. The team previously known as the Technology Advisory Committee will now operate as the Innovation Advisory Committee. According to him, the world is undergoing rapid change due to the breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, and other modern technologies. These technologies are creating entirely new markets and transforming old ones, and the CFTC needs to keep pace so it can maintain fairness, safety, and trust. To gain clearer understandings of these technologies, the proposed thoughtful rules for integrating financial markets, the CFTC is seeking input from the Innovation Advisory Committee. Recently, the U.S. Senate confirmed two of President Trump's appointments to lead major U.S. financial regulatory agencies. Selig will chair the CFTC, while Travis Hill will head the Federal Department in Deposit Insurance Corporation. The Senate also approved dozens of other nominees in a 53-43 vote. With Selig at the helm, the CFTC is expected to become a leading regulator of U.S. cryptocurrencies activity once Congress finalizes legislation granting the agency expanded authority. He succeeds acting chairman Caroline Pham, who had introduced a series of pro-crypto policies during her tenure. The Innovation Advisory Committee is being established and will be led by the CEO of the Innovation Council. Selig plans to ask members of the council to be the first members of the new committee. The CEO, so basically, yeah, guys, the CFTC, if you don't know who they are or you don't pay too much attention to them, you're going to have to start in the future, because they are going to be leading the way in terms of commodities, which most cryptocurrencies are going to be, right? The only cryptos that are really going to be handled by the SEC moving forward is going to be stuff like pre-IPO, ICOs, initial coin offerings, right? They sell like XRP did. They sell privately first. They become a security there, right? So, the initial sales of those ICOs are securities transactions. So that is the kind of stuff that the SEC is going to be handling moving forward. Everything else that's not a security, which is most of crypto, will be controlled or regulated by the CFTC moving forward, right? Once this bill is passed. But I really do think that they need to increase the size and budget of the CFTC, maybe shrink the size and budget of the SEC, right? Yes, then there's this. Then there is this. You know, come on. Of course we got to talk about Elizabeth Warren, right? Of course we do. Blake, loved the previous blockchain buzz the other day. We need more of those. Yeah, every Saturday. I'm thinking about making blockchain buzz 2 days a week instead of just Saturdays, but we'll see what we can do. All right, Elizabeth Warren, what is she up to now? Elizabeth Warren blasts crypto in 401ks as too risky. Presses SEC Chair Atkins for action. Senator Warren has on Monday sent a letter to the SEC's Chair Paul Atkins regarding the agency's plans to protect regular Americans from Trump's crypto in 401ks executive order. Trump had signed a new executive order in August that made it easier for crypto and private equity to be included in 401k plans. Warren says she is concerned about crypto's volatility, SEC oversight, and Trump's market manipulation. Quote, for most Americans, those 401ks represent a lifetime of retirement security rather than a playground for financial risk. Senator Warren wrote, allowing crypto into American retirement accounts creates fertile ground for workers and families to lose big. She said President Trump's executive order comes amid a recent $1 trillion nosedive in the cryptocurrency market, underscoring concerns about the sector's volatility, weak investor protections, and lack of transparency, as well as the president's financial conflicts of interest. Warren also once again called out Trump's change of position. In 2021, Trump said Bitcoin seemed like a scam, but since winning re-election in 2024, he and his family have gained more than $1.2 billion from the crypto investments. So she's criticizing him because he thought something sounded like a scam. He researched it, figured out that it was actually not a scam and that it was good, so that must make him stupid, right? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. There is no reason to expect that inviting plans to offer these alternative investments will lead to better outcomes overall for participants, Warren wrote, but there is ample reason to think these investment options will make things worse. She just doesn't want everybody else to be richer than her now, right? Elizabeth Warren is the worst. Sounds more like babysitter. The letter comes as just two Senate committees are working on parts of a new crypto market structure bill. Yes, we already read about that. She's not the only one raising red flags. Unions like the American Federation of Teachers and the AFL-CIO have also come out against the administration's plans. They are especially worried about the weakening of the SEC's authority if tokenization spreads without strong oversight. The unions say this could create even more risk for people's retirement savings. More risk than what? Than the dollar depreciating over the course of 30, 40 years while they continue to put it in and lose, 80% of their spending purchasing power? Really? That's not risky? I don't know. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren. Oh, Elizabeth. Where art thou, Elizabeth? You sound just like her. My best, Elizabeth Warren. We got 82 people watching, guys. We have 38 likes. Let's get those likes up, guys. Come on. I just gave you the world's best Elizabeth Warren impersonation, and you can't hit the like button? Come on. Lizzie Warren needs that cup chief spreading bulk. Yes. All right, so here is the meat and potatoes of the stream. Will the U.S. seize Venezuela's Bitcoin? The uncertain future unveiled. In the wake of the recent dramatic political shift in Venezuela, SEC Chair Paul Atkins addressed the potential seizure of the country's alleged Bitcoin holdings. The discussions emerged amid reports that Venezuela may possess up to $60 billion worth of Bitcoin, although verification remains uncertain amid ongoing geopolitical tensions. So, following the recent upheaval, Venezuela, I read that part. During the recent interview, Paul Atkins said, "I leave that to the others in the administration to deal with. I'm not involved in that." When asked whether the U.S. might take action to confiscate the assets, the SEC chair remarks coincide with increased legislative activity as the Senate prepares to hold a markup on digital assets, the Clarity Act bill designed to clarify regulatory oversight of cryptocurrencies. The legislation passed by the House in July has faced delays, blah, 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 while some stakeholders have expressed concerns over specific provisions, including stablecoin regulation and decentralized finance regulations. Lawmakers are expected to refine, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Venezuela's previous engagement with blockchain technologies include launching an oil-backed digital currency in 2018, adds complexity to the current geopolitical and financial landscape. The developments underscore the evolving nexus of politics, finance, and technology. So they're still trying to figure out if they even have $60 billion worth of Bitcoin or not. I guess we'll find out. And here is Paul Atkins as well. It all comes out in the wash, guys. We got this one last little clippy clip here. Paul Atkins over on Fox today.
Well, the Congress and passed and the president signed a bill late last year that was called the Genius Act. And that was really seminal. It was the first statute that the United States government has adopted to recognize a crypto asset. So that was great, and it helped to bring clarity also to stable coins. And so now comes the next step, a good bipartisan effort by both houses of Congress to bring certainty to the market structure regarding cryptocurrencies. And this fits in with the president's focus on making America the crypto capital of the world. So if you have clear legislation and clear rules, then you have certainty in the marketplace. And so I think we're behind it. We are very bullish on the effects of a bill getting to the president to be signed this year, and I think that'll really be a huge help to the crypto marketplace and for investors in that.
Absolutely. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Let's go back over to the Bitcoin chart. We got the one and only Gamma Goddess in the house. She says, good evening, Rob and crypto fan. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's continue to hold so we can get this money. She also says, make sure you hit that like button, guys. Nobody likes that guy that comes in, watches the stream, gets all the information, enjoys the entertainment, and doesn't hit the like button. Don't be that guy, right? Smash the like button, guys. All right, I got to get out of here. Hopefully you guys had a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. for the morning live, where we will get tomorrow's party started and a whole new batch of stories. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Get over to the Patreon, guys, our VIP community, where I did drop another trade today. Make sure you get over there, book your coaching calls, get an exit strategy in place, and we can restructure your portfolio if you need to. Oh, house, I will say one thing. I learned so much in crypto. One, take some profits. There you go, brother. All right, guys, have a great night. God bless.